Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley, California. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
We want to say first, our hearts go out to the victims of Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, it's crazy damage that's been caused by that storm. So,
Yeah, and hopefully the first responders, they're taken care of too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what they say over up to 100 people, right? Over 100 people,
Yeah.
100 people plus.
And the damage is just crazy.
Yeah, I've heard coming in, people still without power, without water, cell service.
I saw a picture of Asheville. I've been to Asheville for like a vacation, and I couldn't believe the river is right there. It just rose up and flooded,
Yeah, I know. The surge was incredible.
Crazy. And port strike, there might be a port strike on the East
I heard
Coast.
That too. And
that's going to affect it.
They offered those people. They offered that union 50% increase in their wages, and they turned it down. 50%. That's a huge increase.
Time to bring the scabs in. That's time to bring the scabs in.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they want, but 50% increase. I remember back in the days of management, man, you got 2 or 3%, and that was pretty good if you were able to offer that to employees. But 50%, that's going to cause some price of goods to go up, I would think, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the labor secretary is doing to bring them to the table.
Do we have a labor secretary?
Yeah, it's a hire, diversity hire. Okay, despite the report we did a couple of weeks ago about the nut job that said queer theory informs nuclear weapons, and the other nut job they fired for stealing ladies' luggage to cross-dress, apparently the Department of Energy is doing something right. Nuclear fusion is a promising source of clean and sustainable energy, but creating and maintaining the conditions for fusion extremely challenging. Now, the sun does fusion, right? It's really hot, and there's like solar flares, right? So that's the conditions you got to be working in. Tokamak, which we're showing you now, Tokamak reactors use magnetic fields to confine the hot plasma needed for fusion, but plasma density is limited by the Greenwald limit, beyond which instabilities disrupt confinement. And we'll talk about that coming up.
Okay. Researchers at General Atomics, facility operated for the Department of Energy, have successfully surpassed the Greenwald limit, which you'll see in slide 2, right?
Yeah.
Achieving plasma density 20% higher while maintaining superior confinement.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. This breakthrough addresses a major obstacle for fusion reactors, making it possible to achieve conditions required for efficient fusion. The research also provides insights into managing plasma instabilities and balancing core and edge temperatures, critical for reactor efficiency. These advancements mark a significant step towards the realization of commercially viable fusion power, which is a big deal, right?
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It kind of scares me, though, that temperature it needs to be at. What if there's a leak, and then it just starts melting, and unless you have SPF 2 million, you're not going to survive it,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have the same issues, or not same issues, but similar concerns about nuclear power, right?
Yeah.
And we've kind of controlled that, and there hasn't been an issue with that.
Yeah,
in
water
a while.
coolant. Yeah.
But still, I mean, this is a start, right? I mean, they're gonna hopefully be able to control all that, contain it.
With AI helping and predict and stuff.
Yeah.
For fusion to happen, extremely hot, dense plasma needs to be generated and confined within a reactor. Plasma is a gas consisting of charged particles that must reach temperatures of hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius, like the sun. Yeah, hot. At these extreme temperatures, atomic nuclei overcome their natural repulsion, allowing them to fuse and release large amounts of energy. Tokamak reactors, which are donut-shaped devices that use magnetic fields to confine plasma, are a leading technology in nuclear fusion research. A major challenge with Tokamak reactors, however, has been managing the density of the plasma, which is limited by what is known as the Greenwald limit, which we had on that last slide.
Yeah. So the Greenwald limit, named after physicist Martin Greenwald, defines the maximum density that a plasma can reach while remaining stable within a magnetic confinement system of a tokamak reactor. If plasma density exceeds this threshold, instabilities can arise, disrupting the confinement process and halting fusion. Essentially, the Greenwald limit is a barrier to achieving the conditions necessary for efficient and stable fusion power. In tokamak reactors, this limit has been a persistent obstacle because beyond a certain density, the plasma becomes unstable, leading to energy loss or potential damage to the reactor. The inability to exceed the Greenwald limit without significant consequences is posed a challenge for creating a fusion reactor that could operate efficiently and continuously. So
they broke the barrier, so that's good. That's like, subsonic, and then we broke the sonic barrier.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, breaking barriers is where it leads to, exciting things.
You got to try, right?
Yeah.
So
the General Atomics research team has now managed to overcome this barrier. The experiment produced stable plasma with density that is 20% higher than the Greenwald limit. Not only did they achieve this higher density, but they also maintained a plasma confinement quality that was 50% better than the standard high confinement mode typically found in tokamak reactors. This breakthrough is significant because it addresses a major bottleneck for commercial fusion reactors. Many tokamak designs require plasma densities higher than the Greenwald limit to achieve efficient fusion. Now, that's the key, efficient. You don't want more power going in, more energy going in than energy coming out. That's inefficient. Previous attempts to exceed this limit often resulted in reduced plasma confinement or complete loss of energy. The success of the General Atomics team in achieving both high density and strong confinement opens up new possibilities for designing more efficient and reliable reactors.
all right, so another major hurdle in fusion reactors like tokamaks is controlling the instabilities that can develop within the plasma. These instabilities, if left unchecked, can disrupt the reactor's operations and damage its components. The recent findings from General Atomics not only surpassed the Greenwald limit, but also hinted at potential methods for managing these instabilities. The researchers noted a synergy between achieving high plasma density and maintaining high confinement, which could lead to a more stable state for the plasma. This suggests that it may be possible, to achieve conditions where plasma remains stable even at higher densities, reducing the risk of disruptions that have previously been a major challenge. So they're working on this thing. It's fascinating. I mean, we talked about this a while back, a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And
these updates are exciting.
Yeah,
they really are. Well, we think they're exciting. We hope you do too. Fusion reactors also face the challenge of balancing temperatures within the plasma. I mean, millions of degrees Celsius. That's crazy. So to initiate fusion, the core of the plasma must be extremely hot, reaching hundreds of millions of degrees Celsius, while the outer edge, which comes into contact with the reactor walls, needs to be kept much cooler to prevent damage. So that sounds to me like there's an outer shell, and then there's a protective.
Almost like double containment pipe.
Double, yeah. Don't know how I can go into cars, though. I mean, how you do that with cars. But reactors, though, limitless power.
Yeah, powering cities.
Yes, right? Yes.
Manufacturing. I mean, that kind of stuff. That'd be the
clean
way to
energy. For all the tree huggers, clean energy. Yeah. Achieving and maintaining this balance is crucial for the reactor's efficiency and longevity. Obviously, if it's melting, you got to stop it and then go repair it. The research from General Atomics provides new insights into how to manage this temperature gradient effectively. Understanding the physics that govern the temperature distribution within the plasma can help in designing reactors that are both compact and efficient. These insights bring researchers closer to solving one of the critical engineering challenges that have held back the development of practical fusion power efficiency.
So the breakthrough by General Atomics team represents a significant step towards achieving commerciality viable fusion power. By breaking through the Greenwald limit and demonstrating improved plasma confinement, they have unlocked new opportunities for more efficient fusion energy production. This is good stuff, right?
Yeah.
This development could pave the way for the creation of fusion reactors that are capable of operating under conditions necessary for sustained and efficient power generation.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, right?
Yeah, that is what we want. The energy drives everything.
Yeah.
And I'm okay if we get away from fossil, if we've got this to go to and nuclear. I mean, we could still keep doing fossil, but this sounds like a really cheap way.
Yeah, I mentioned this. I just don't know how they're going to be able to sustain a complete electric vehicle platform. They just don't have the grid for it. Now, this might help that, but we just don't have the grid for it. So there's going to have to be some major. Of course, we talked about lithium batteries too, right? The lithium battery.
Yeah, the solid state.
Right.
Using different materials.
Right. Than the typical battery that they're using now.
But if you got solar, charging at your home, that's where most of the charging is done. Then that helps to have solar. I know before we had the electric vehicles, our gas, I kept track of it. Gasoline was about $9,000 a year for both my wife and I. And then with electric, we don't have gasoline, and our electric bill, the highest we've seen it is $500. The lowest we've seen it is $200. That's a lot cheaper than 500 times 12. That's $6,000. It's cheaper than the gas that we were using.
Yeah, I heard a figure the other day that the average price of fuel for somebody now has gone up about $5,000 a year. So it's expensive.
It's
California, we're still
$4
over the $4 mark.
Yeah.
So, and other states are catching up. I mean, we were in Colorado and they're not far behind, even though they used to be. They're not that far behind. Utah, same thing, not that far behind.
It's a blue state, tax and spend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Got to find revenue.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. And we promise we'll get back onto the politics scene and talk about, what's happening, the scandals.
I got the debate happening tonight, the VP debate. That should be interesting. And so it's a good thing.
Okay, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.